Charlie, I just wanted to come here today and basically say I'm not too political, but I'm a big fan of Kamala Harris. I think she seems like a sweet lady with a nice smile. And basically, I just want to know, what's your beef with Kamala and how can we resolve this?
Yeah, so I'm impressed because I've never heard anyone say anything positive about Kamala Harris. Why don't you tell me how great she is? What has she done?
Well, I think she seems like a nice lady. Like, she has a nice smile. And I also just feel like she seems like she'd be fun to hang out with.
She seems to me more kind of like the librarian that gets super mad at you because you're making too much noise while you're hanging out with your friends. I mean, there is one good thing that Kamala Harris is good at, but I'm not going to get into that because I'll keep it PG rated here. But
I mean, we can agree to disagree. I kind of want to get to know her, but we all have our own opinions, right?
Yes, we do.
That guy is who I think I'm very scared of. That's low information voters to me. Low information voters who go, well, I like her vibe. She reminds me of a cool aunt. Like, they vote for superficial reasons. I think that's what a low information voter is to me. And I think highlighting that in our college campuses where these people, because in this video, in this clip I'm about to show you, between this interaction between Charlie Kirk and this college student, these smug college students think they're so smart. But then when you press them on questions, they can't defend themselves. Like, it's baffling to me. And then they have this superior, and this is the worst thing I think college has done. It has give dumb people the idea that they're smarter than everyone else because of a piece of paper that they earned in a degree. Majority of Americans did not graduate college. So you're calling 60% of Americans below you because they didn't go to some indoctrination, ideological indoctrination camp. And this is one of the reasons why I agree with Charlie Kirk on his synopsis that college is a scam, because essentially college is an ideological church where you get taught to be a liberal. And if you look at all the statistics, if you look at all the facts, majority of the faculty are liberal. If you go to Ivy League college, 96% of the professors are liberal. So are you really getting an education, or are you being taught something? If I told you 96% of the professors at a university was Christian, you can make the argument that, hey, we're getting brainwashed into Christianity. So how come I can't say that? How come I can't make the argument that you're being brainwashed into liberalism? And you wonder why the youth says socialism is as popular as capitalism, because they're being taught that. But I digress with my long-winded intro. Let's get into the clip.
My question is sort of a question/compliment. You're a very good public speaker. And I think a lot of people here might struggle with that. What I'm curious is, somebody with so little education beyond high school and, just experience in the field, how are you able to so confidently just kind of word vomit?
I think that this college student is projecting, because at the end of the day, he has no life experience. You have no experience. Experience will always matter more than education, right? And you can control for this. If someone, let's play an example here. Let's do an analogy, and then we'll get to Charlie Kirk's response. Here's an analogy. Let's say a basketball. There was a degree for basketball. I have a degree for basketball. I know I know all the rules of the game. I know all the strategies. I know all the positions. I know what they can do, what they can't do. And let me get a random black kid or a high school team off the street who played basketball. And this is my argument against education. This is how I will frame Charlie Kirk with this guy. Because Charlie Kirk, his education is not limited to what his teacher want him to learn. And this is the problem I have with college. College has a specific curriculum where you can't go outside of that because it'll hurt you. You'll have a bad grade. It ain't conducive to intellectual curiosity. College is conducive for intellectual conformity. And this is what this guy is experiencing. You're not as indoctrinated as me, so how come you are allowed to go up there and speak about these topics? That's essentially what he's saying. I digress.
Right. You said pretty much every question you've answered has been no answer. You've just kind of said what conservatives want to hear. So really all of your work is not a debate. It's just confirmation bias.
This is what you only say things that conservatives want to hear. If I'm a conservative, if I believe in the positions that I push, of course you're gonna hear that. And if a certain group of people happen to usually agree with me, so what? That doesn't disprove my point. Water is wet. Oh, only conservatives believe that. A woman is an adult human female. Oh, you only conservatives believe that. But does it make it true or not? That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm asking about. And this is the problem I have with these college students. They act so smug because they have a piece of paper, or then there's some fancy smashy school that they get some perceived status from it. And this is the fallacy of authority. Just because you're an expert doesn't mean you cannot be wrong. Experts have been wrong about a lot of things. Experts thought that Jewish people were stupid. Oh, look, these Jewish people have low IQ. And then if you dig deeper, you found out, oh, well, Jewish people weren't acclimated to the language of the land yet. They were still in poor areas. That explained why they had low IQ, because they didn't adapt to the American way of life yet. Now, Jewish people tend to have the highest IQ on average compared to other groups of people, right? But people find something to latch onto and say, oh, the experts say it's because they're Jewish. It's because of genetic determinism that these people have low IQ. And this is one of my arguments against genetic determinism. When I get these people in my comment section saying that black people are average or low IQ, and they try to make it seem like there's a correlation with race. Just like when a race hustler will come in and say, oh, systematic racism, because look at the injustice against black people. How black people is 30% of the population, but they make up half of the prisons. Systematic. Same point, same argument. See, I'm consistent. It doesn't matter if someone on the middle criticized me about IQ. Oh, look, Kenny, you can't deny that IQ, there's a correlation between race and IQ. Yeah, but you don't have a low IQ because of your race. I believe it's because of other factors. Just like with the incarceration rate amongst black men is due to other reasons, not due to because you're black. It's due to behaviors. It's due to environment, which all goes down to decisions. I digress. I think I'm rambling a little too much.
So
Wanna
where'd
have
you
a
learn
debate?
how to? Sorry?
You want to debate?
No, I'm good. I'm just curious where you learned.
Okay. You sure?
Where you learned how to public
I'm a high
speak.
school graduate. You're in college, man. Let's debate. I vomit for a living, you said. Yeah. Come on, let's debate.
No, I'm not here to debate. That's not,
No, you're
that's
just,
not my
you're
question.
just here to insult me.
Yeah, you're about. Yeah, I am. Where did you learn how to public speak? Because you're really good at lying out of your.
What have I lied about? Name one thing I lied tonight about. Name a
stats.
Name a second thing. No, name a stat. I said that's wrong.
Be specific.
You said 11.
See, this is my problem. Be specific. Don't just say, "Oh, you're lying." Okay, you're making a claim there. Oh, this person lied. Okay, show how she lied. Show how this. You have proof, because then it just becomes an opinion. It just becomes, oh, I don't like what you said, so I'm gonna call you a liar. That's how you come across. And only people who agree with you, sir, will agree. Oh yeah, he is lying. But you're projecting here. This is what I'm saying. It's liberal projection. He's talking about Charlie Kirk about confirmation bias. He's doing confirmation bias. Oh, you're lying. You're lying with stats. Okay, what stat did he lie about? You can't give examples. You can't give specifics. You can't give a counter argument. All you hear is to insult, which he already admitted. I'm just here to insult you. How is that not confirmation bias? I'm telling you, our future don't look bright, bro.
Million jobs. You said 50%.
Yes, 11 million jobs are open for blue-collar work, according to Mike Rowe, and according to 3 independent studies, according to the Department of Labor. Name another stat I said that's wrong.
I guess my main point
No,
is,
name a third stat that I said that's wrong.
When you say a stat or you just say numbers, it's helpful usually when you're public speaking to say where you got that information. Because people who disagree with you might not.
So give me, no, but you give some examples. Where did I lie or say a stat that's not true?
You need to work on not doing confirmation bias.
Wait, hold on. No, but you.
And this is why I think college is a scam, bro. I don't even think I'm gonna let my son go to college. If this is what they're producing, confirmation bias. Okay, you got buzzwords. Okay, that's nice. What is a confirmation bias? You say things that appeals to a certain base of people. Oh, okay. So if I say that racism is the biggest problem in my life, is that confirmation bias? When I have no proof or evidence to support my argument that racism is a big problem in my life or in black people's lives, isn't that confirmation bias? So if I say that if racism isn't the biggest problem in my life, and I show it with proof and evidence, hey, look, black people are falling behind in education, but black people also study less than other groups of people. Asians study the most. Asians on average study half an hour more than other races of people. Isn't no surprise they do so well in academia? Black parents are less likely. I'll take race out of it. Poor parents, who majority of black people disproportionately are in, do not support education at the same rate as other wealthy people of higher socioeconomic status. All right, kids coming from single parent household, which is 70% of the black community, they don't have good academic outcomes. Lack of resources, lack of parental attention, right? Involved parenting, there's a correlation with how involved a parent is in the education of their child equals to better academic outcomes. Black people are less invested in that. Behavior, I can point to behavior and say, yo, your behavior is the reason why you're at the bottom, not because of your skin color. But if I was talking to this liberal and I say, yeah, racism is the biggest problem in my life, he wouldn't say that was confirmation bias because it confirms his bias. Projection. I'll stop pausing.
You come up here and say, oh, how did you with a high school education learn to spew BS? Say one thing I said that was wrong, misleading, unfactual, not rooted in data.
You're doing it right now.
I'm asking you a question.
I was just making a comment, and you're spinning it. That's what you're really good at. That's why I think you're a good.
No, you came up here and it's
And these would be the same people that we commenting in my comment section. Oh, you're spinning it. Oh, look, watch the spin. Watch the spin. What spin? I'm giving you a point of view, and I'm backing up my point of view with some evidence, with some observable reality. And this is what they can't take. They just want to sit there back in their keyboards on some faceless avatar to criticize. That's it. That's all. That's why I said liberals. The one thing liberals are good at, they're good at criticizing people. That's one thing they're good at. But then he has this smugness. Oh, how can you with a high school degree? The founding fathers didn't have a high school degree. Founding fathers, most of them were homeschooled, if I remember correctly. And I think they were smarter than any individual that came out of college recently. I mean, a lot of the founders, they were like what, polymaths? They taught themselves how to do various things. Benjamin Franklin was like damn near an inventor, investor. Yo, we ain't producing that anymore, and that shows to our education system. And then when parents like me, we want alternatives to the education system. We don't want this. We don't want that kid. I don't want my kids like that. I want an alternative educational choice. The Democratic Party is in my way, while the Republican Party pushes for school choice. But then black people in my comment section will pretend that I have no reason to vote for Trump. They're so emotional. Oh my God, Trump is a racist. Who told you that? Oh, you got it from a Democrat? Oh, of course they're going to say that. Of course they're going to smear the other side because they don't want you to look over there. Why would a competitor tell you to go to the other person's workshop? If you have two mechanics fighting for your business, wouldn't you expect the other mechanic to smear or downplay the abilities of the other mechanic so they can win your business? But for some reason, black people, minority people, a lot of Americans don't think like this politically. Make it make sense to me. I don't know. Emotionalism ruined politics. But that's what these kids are being taught. They're being taught to listen to their feelings. And you wonder why our education is down in the dumps. I digress.
Insulted me. I'm asking you, how have I misled this audience? And you come unprepared, like not with a single data. I thought you'd at least have like one gotcha, man. Like one number, like one thing. Nancy Pelosi stock portfolio up 65% in 2023. That's true. 11 million job openings, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, that require muscular labor and require just a 6-month technical training degree. That is true. At the apex, 15,000 people coming across the southern border every single day. I just said it's down a little bit. That is true.
If you looked at them, if you didn't know Charlie Kirk who was Charlie Kirk, you would think he was the one with the degree. And this is my problem. This is why this kid is making Charlie Kirk's point about college being a scam. It doesn't prepare for real life. But I'm supposed to accept because you got a piece of paper, you're smarter than me. Oh, I can't question you. Oh, climate change is a big problem in our life. And I'm like, well, I see stats, I see evidence, and clean energy just means less energy. That's the only way you can get the outcomes you want. Oh, no, we can replace everything with solar and wind. Solar and wind is only responsible for 5% of the infrastructure, and it's not highly reliable. This is why Texas had rolling blackouts. This is why California had rolling blackouts, because the output of the solar and wind cannot meet the inputs. the energy demands. They don't see how wasteful and inefficient solar wind is into replacing our energy usage currently. But they don't see the threat in that. If we don't have unlimited access to energy, um, if we don't have solar and wind, if we have solar and wind, it will not be able to meet our energy demands. That means we won't have hospital equipment. That means more lives can be lost in the medical in the hospital because there's no reliable energy there. That's why I said clean energy means less energy. Clean energy means less human flourishing. We'll just be like we'll just like be these poor countries in Africa where they don't have any energy in the hospitals. You better pray you don't have any complications in your pregnancy. You better pray that you don't need to do an X-ray or anything because they don't have the energy to actually use these machines. That's how America's going to be if we go to your clean energy site. But instead of arguing my thing that I backed up with evidence to suggest this, you'll say, oh, I'm a climate change denier. Simple liberal logic. I digress.
What have I said that's incorrect?
What do next?
You're good at what you do, but not for the right reasons.
That's all I'm saying.
What is right?
They don't want.
What is right? You don't back up what I'm saying. So if he was saying everything you were saying, he would have been using it for the good reasons. You see how emotional that is? But they want to act like they're so smart. This is why, and then people wonder why I don't respect people with college degrees. I have a friend, they love, oh, I have a master's degree in this and that. I say, okay, sure. That don't tell me nothing. What do you do for a living? Oh, you're a barista? That's. So you went to education just to be a barista. You can learn those skills without going to college. Because I see everything based on skill. I don't see things based on status like a college degree. I hate credentialism. And I think that's why we have fallen into a trap. I have more credentials than you, therefore I have more authority than you. Therefore, I have an argument. And then people use the fallacy of authority. Oh, I got a degree in this, therefore you can't question my thing. Oh, yes, I can. Because the facts question your narrative. And this is why I'm trying to empower the American people. Yo, you can go learn this stuff for yourself. At least at some level. Level enough to doubt what is being said to you or what's being fed to you by your experts. Because this is a two-way street. We have to be able to keep experts honest. And we can't keep experts honest if we don't have some baseline information about various topics. And I think that's what separates a low information voter from a moderately informed voter. Things like this. Being able to spot tactics like what that college student tried to do. All he tried to do was smear Charlie. And then he had the goal to be smug about it. I can't this is a liberal? I can't respect that. I can't be a part of that. He reminded me of guys in my life that they swear they were like the smartest dudes in the room. And then you ask them some critical questions about their beliefs, and you found out they were all flash, no substance. They were trying to look smart, use big words, right? Talk all sophisticated, and then try to intimidate you not to question them. And I go, my plain English, but I go, well, what evidence do you have to suggest that? I don't seem like you're making a correlation. That doesn't prove racism. Just because black people believe racism exists doesn't necessarily confirm racism exists, because people can be wrong, right? And then when all else fails, they call you names. Remind me of some of my black liberal college guys that I used to argue back in the day with. That's what that college kid, that frat boy looking kid, remind me of. White liberal women who got nothing but feelings, no facts, no evidence. Oh, just believe my narrative, believe my framing that you're a victim. I wasn't raised to be a victim. I digress.
Want to debate me because they can't debate me. They can't say one thing I said that's wrong. They can't name one data point. They just come up here and insult. You, my friend, are why we are going to beat you guys historically, because you are afraid to have a debate. It's so amazing, the smugness. How'd you learn to speak like this in word vomit? Oh, what'd I say that's true? Everything. Name one thing. Name another thing. Name another thing. Yeah, you should ask for money back at KU. They're really scamming you, man. You'd think you'd have one little thing. All right.
Hey, Charlie.
So, there you go. That's the video. Like, we're not educating people. We're creating smug college idiots. I'm just being plain like that, right? I don't give someone credibility just because they have a college degree anymore, because of videos like that. I was like, I'm expecting, someone at least like me, like astute, like he's well read, he knows some of the information that he's talking about. But all I hear is emotional arguments, trying to framings, trying to control perceptions. I'm like, yo, you can't be like having conversations and trying to do that. Either you're trying to have an honest conversation or you're just trying to smear the guy. And it seemed like all the left has is trying to smear somebody, label you. I dealt with all this tactics in college growing up. I went to college around 2014. I dealt with all that. Framings. I'm like, yo, how is this college? I thought this is where you get to get challenged. This is not a challenge to me. You trying to control public opinion about me. Oh, Kenny's a traitor to his race because he thinks conservatively. Kenny doesn't think that all black people should vote Democrat. I'm replaying that stuff in my college experience. And I think that's why I end up dropping out of college, because I was like, yo, this place is not intellectually, like, I have more intellectual rigor by myself than going to college because I wasn't getting challenged there. But this is the problem that we face in our education system. And the only reason that there's a correlation between college education and income is because smart people were taught that education was the pathway to success. But I have an argument. If smart people were taught, hey, look, if it was open field, hey, you can decide to go to college, don't decide to go to college, I think we'll have different stats. Because now we got a lot of people who don't deserve to be in college, or in college, then they get a degree and then they get smug. Or they're in college already. Oh, I go to Kansas State. Don't let them be Harvard. Oh my God. I'm going to Harvard. I know a black girl that's going to Harvard. And I'm like, I'm looking at her, I'm like, you might be a DEI admission. I'm not gonna lie. Right? I'm not impressed. Like, I'm not. I know black people, I know black girls that went to Harvard, Yale, and they're scared to discuss stuff with me. I'm like, yo, why? You went to Yale, you went to Harvard. Because maybe you are a DEI admission. Maybe. I'm not gonna claim that, but stats are showing that it's a high probability you are. But I digress. Enough of me railing against college. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you like the debates between Charlie Kirk and these college kids? Do you fear for the future of our education system? I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.